Greetings, wild and tame souls. I'm Lucinda Bakken-White, and today we're going to talk about Elsa's encounter with a black snake in water. Elsa wrote to me, I was in eastern Texas at the time, and I was traveling and hanging out by some train tracks when I saw this nasty trash puddle. But eventually I noticed there was a big black snake living in it, with crawdads and even minnows. And it was fascinating to me how a whole ecosystem managed to exist in such a gross little trash pond. I don't know what species the snake was, but it didn't look venomous. I was surprised that a puddle could support what's essentially an apex predator in such a little pond ecosystem like that. This is really interesting because Elsa is by a train waiting to get on the train, and she sees a disgusting little pond of water. And as she takes a second look, a closer look, and zooms in, she actually sees an entire ecosystem thriving. This speaks to the idea that not to take things at face value, that when we move in deeper and take a closer look, there's always beauty to be found. So she takes off her glasses of judgments and sees a miracle here. So my first question to her was, do you like where you're living right now? And she wrote back, I recently had to move to a small isolated town and it's pretty boring. I haven't been able to make any friends here. I've been spending most of my time wanting to travel. I also asked her, what does the train mean to her? And she said, well, I used to travel by riding freight trains for a while. They're a symbol of freedom to me. And the reason I do it is because I don't want to participate in capitalism. By traveling this way, I get most everything I have for free. Now, due to COVID, I have to live in a house and am forced to pay to live. So this pond is reflecting back to her state of mind. The water represents her emotions, and the pond is her state of mind. At first glance, you might think it's a reflection of her inner state. So at first glance, she might think, oh, I don't like where I'm living. I'm really confined. This is horrible. I want to be free on the train and move, but I can't under lockdown. But if you take a second look, it is possible to shift your thoughts, feelings, and perspectives and emotions to thrive in what might seem like a constricted environment when it really isn't. So we have this big black snake, and snakes are symbolic of transformation, among many other things. But because it's black, it's reminding me of like the moon, the dark moon phase, when the ending turns into a new beginning. And the snake is a transformer because it sheds its skin. It is also symbolic of the feminine nature. So I feel like the snake is reflecting back to her, again, how to thrive by shifting your thoughts and emotions, going in deeper beyond the surface. And the fish are spiritual sustenance. That is the symbolism of fish. So the little minnows, the snake is seeking spiritual sustenance through the fish. Now, I had another question for her because I wanted to know when this puddle, when she came across it relative to when COVID first hit, when lockdown first happened. And she said, lockdown happened right after I got on the train. Wow, that's really prophetic. She's waiting for the train, riding to freedom, sees the trash pond, is enamored by this wildlife oasis, gets on the train, goes to another town, and when she arrives, the lockdown for COVID is announced. So this is also indicative of psychic qualities that she has. I think she saw a reflection in this pond of what was happening in the collective, or what was going to happen, that we would all endure this kind of little environment that seemed constricted, but that we too can shift our thoughts and emotions. So I encouraged her to explore this idea that she has psychic ability, and perhaps even the ability to scry. Scry is when you can look into the water and see the future. So I hope that you enjoyed this audio and that you found something in here relative to your situation in COVID. And I hope that you are thriving in your ecosystem. Thank you. See you next time.